love to tour. I do have my own tour bus now, but in the early days, I piled right in there with the rest of the band.
Here's a little gal that I know you're going to really learn to love because she's a fine singer and one of the finest little gals that I've ever met. Let's give her a great big welcome. Pretty Miss Dolly Parton.
I always managed to have my own little, my little cubbyhole, my own little bunk. And when I was working with the Porter Wagoner show, I remember I was so grateful to him. One of the things that I always so appreciated, he got a new bus and he made me a tiny little, it was just a tiny little place, but it was my own. Country to the core. I had my own little bathroom back there, my own little bed, my own little sink, and my own little, teapot, back there to where I didn't have to come out, to have all the guys see me without my makeup. You know how girls are, especially me. Oh, I can wear denim or I can wear silk, drink champagne or chocolate milk. We've been performing on tour for the last few years. I was off for quite a while, and then I went back, and I really enjoyed being out there with the fans. You realize what the fans don't particularly like to see you do. The only time ever that it was kind of rough for me was when I first took over the place of Norma Jean that was in the Porter Wagoner show, the show that I started on. I was with Porter for 7 years, but he had his show. It had been going on for many, many years before I came on, and the girl singer that had been there for all those years had decided to marry and move away, so I was replacing her. But she had a huge fan base. She had several records, and I don't sound like anybody else. You either like my voice or you don't, and then here I come looking like I look. So here I go out on stage working with Porter. He kind of sets me up as best he can. So when I go out to perform, there were a few people. They weren't rude to me as a whole, but there were a few people saying, "Where's Norma Jean? We want Norma Jean," because they didn't know me from Adam. That was my first appearance kind of out. So I said, "Well, Norma Jean ain't here, but I am." And I know that, I miss her too, because I loved her too. She's one of my favorite artists, but Porter has hired me because she left the show, and please give me a chance. So it wasn't long till everybody they didn't forget Norma Jean, but they started to like me, and then I fit right in that show, and I was there for 7 years. Well, it's not exactly like you can say I'm going to Australia and just hop in the car and go. It's a long ways off. I think about it in such fond ways, because we had a wonderful tour then, and we're expecting a wonderful tour now. Born and country bred. I'm countryfied, and I'm country fed. Hey, you know that. I'm country.